Hi there, welcome to part 4 of how to create a plan for a winning business. We have talked through how to create your understanding of the market, including lots and lots of information about potential customers. We talked about competition. We talked about the very important subject of how to get a product developed or service methodology developed. Now we're on to the next subject, which is marketing, the channels through which you have to go in order to reach potential customers, those people that are going to pay you money for what you have developed. So this is going to be all about the plan that you're going to need in order to get customers. Next to product development and methodology development, this is the most important thing you do. You could have the greatest product and service methodology on the face of the earth. Once people see it, they just love it. But if you don't have an effective way to reach them, you don't have a business. You'll fail. So if you're not certain, if this is a subject that you need help with, please get the help you need from people that know how to put together a marketing plan. It may be the first consulting and or first hire that you have in your company, somebody that really knows how to do this. So let's get on with it. So what we're talking about here is creating a plan for marketing, just like we had a development plan and very much in depth, and it was very, very specific on how we were going to get a product or service methodology out the door to be used with customers. The same thing is true for marketing. We need a plan, step by step, specifying how exactly are you going to reach your potential customers. But look, what's this plan all about anyway? It's all about lead generation. I don't mean to demean marketing in any way, shape, or form. Brand management is very important. Look and feel, consistency there is also very important. Having a logo and a tagline, all good stuff. But I tell you something, when it comes down to it, all of what you do and all the money you spend on marketing is for lead generation. What you're going to count up is at the end is how many leads did we generate. Then in part 5, in a few days, you're going to talk about how to close them with sales of your products and services. But right now we're talking about generating leads, people that you're going to engage with after you've reached them through your marketing plan and ultimately sell them your product. So this is all about lead generation. You got that pretty clear, huh? Let's move on. So the first thing we have to do is targeting. We try to reach these people that we know are probably going to be interested in what we have. We got to figure out how we reach them. Right? That's what targeting is all about. So in your market research, you got some insight as to where they hang out. Are they social media kind of people? Are they the kind of people that respond to email? Are they interested in certain subjects that are very important to them in their industry? What things do they read and they find important that is helpful to them? All sorts of things about them, including the demographics of the people, you need to know in order to determine the right channels through which you send them information to get their interest. So let's talk about that in a little bit more detail. So the first step of marketing is awareness, creating awareness and running campaigns, marketing campaigns that create awareness. Awareness by whom? The people that are going to potentially buy your product or service, of course. I put these people into 2 categories. Maybe you're going to accuse me of maybe an oversimplification of this, but the first category is people we know. They're in my email list or my CRM database. I know them. We've interacted in some way. We're following them, and they're following us on LinkedIn and Facebook and Twitter and other things. We know them. We're in contact with them already. So creating awareness of a new product or new service, or awareness of anything for that matter, is pretty simple. The first thing you probably should think of is an email campaign, a well-done email campaign to create the awareness of you got something new to tell them, something new you want to introduce them to. Email, the age-old email. Now, in today's world, this email ought to be pretty sophisticated. Not only is it informative, it is presented in rich text, video information, graphical presentation of maybe your products are a model of your services. Creating awareness rapidly requires some pizzazz. So get some pizzazz into your email campaigns. The other, of course, is since you're connected with them on social media channels like LinkedIn and others, is to post out to them. Post a video to the people that you follow on LinkedIn or Facebook with interesting information about this new product that you have, with a link towards to a place where they can go to find out more information about it. That's the famous landing page, or straight to a page on your website, or straight to the home page on your website where you've got great information, your messaging that tells them all about what you have to offer and leads them to a call to action of some kind. So whether it's email or social media, this awareness campaign is all about creating awareness in effective ways and getting them to take an action, which is usually to take a look at some information you want them to read or look at. So that's for people you know. Now for people you don't know, it's a whole lot harder. Creating awareness of people you don't know requires things like having a referral done by someone you do know. So you should be nurturing people that you know well in hopes that you'll be able to call upon them at some time to give you an introduction to somebody that you don't know but you'd like to know, because you found out about them and you think they might be interested in your product. That's a very warm lead, and the referral is done by your referral source, the person you know who trusts you and has great respect and would be willing to introduce you to someone else. You should have lots of these referral sources, people that would do these things for you if you ask them in an intelligent way. So by referral is a really good way to go to meet people you don't know. The next approach is a whole lot harder. It's going directly to the social media public, if you will, with social media campaigns, where you reach out with blog posts, posts on articles, posts on other people's content, through all the social media channels that matter to the kind of people you want to reach. That's posts on LinkedIn and Facebook. Instagram is pretty popular. But whatever the social media channels are for the people that you're trying to reach are the channels you got to use. Not the ones you really like the best. It's the ones that they read. Then finally in the social media world is advertising. So you pay some money to target certain demographics of individuals that you don't know, again, on social media channels like Google, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. The richness of these advertising platforms is increasing. They're becoming very usable by novices like myself and others. There's lots of information on the internet on how to engage these advertising platforms. So there's a broad scope there of awareness campaigns for people you know and people you don't know. Let's go a little bit deeper now on the subsequent steps in creating an effective marketing program. So once you've created awareness, whether you know the person or not, the next thing that they're going to do is check you out. I call this, it's the second step of marketing, I call it evaluation. They go somewhere to find out more about you and your business. Where do they go? Obviously, they go to your website. Whether you gave them a call to action or not, they might take it still, but the next thing they're going to do is figure out who the heck you are. So they're going to go to LinkedIn, so you better have a really good profile, well written and complete. They're going to go to your website and your homepage, so your messaging ought to be very evident right there when they see it. The About Us page ought to be really interesting, talking about you and about your company, and then they'll go to the product or services page and say, well, what do they sell here again? Yeah. These three places I just said that they go to really have to be done well. Quite frankly, if your website and your social media profiles are not well done, they're a piece of junk, they're incomplete and not well written, unclear, they're going to conclude that you are not worth doing business with, because you didn't take the time to figure out how to inform them who you are and what you're about and what your company is about. And you'll never see them again. You've destroyed a possible lead if you don't really execute this evaluation step. So they check you out, and you better check out. Then they're going to take your call to action. They're going to contact you in the manner that you asked them to in your awareness campaign. See how this works? Awareness, they check you out, they take your call to action. So the next thing that's going to happen is conversion to a qualified lead. This is where you make contact with them. They take you up on your call to action, usually results in a conversation between you, and you're going to ask them certain questions about their urgency of need for what it is you have to sell. So you're literally going to ask them about the needs that they have for their business. You're listening for the needs that they have that are the ones that you provide a solution to. And then you're going to ask questions about how bad an issue this is for them. In other words, how urgent is it that they need to do something about this need? Is it immediate or not? If it's immediate, you're going to continue listening. And then you get into a part of the conversation where you're starting to test their willingness to actually buy your solution after you've described it a little bit. A little bit means a minute or two, not a long-winded, we're not into a sales pitch yet. We're just trying to determine whether or not they're a qualified lead to spend any more time on. But you ask them, that, is this something you've budgeted this year? So this is something that is a high priority for your business at this point. So you test those three things out. And if it's yes, 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 they have the need, they have an urgency to fulfill the need, they like what you've got, and they're able to pay for it. It's in their budget. You have now converted a prospect into a qualified lead. The next step, of course, is now either yourself, if you're in sales, you proceed in the sales process of setting up a sales meeting with them, or you turn this over to your sales team to take it from here. So those are the three steps. But you do this with a purpose. You have objectives to meet for leads. You've got to generate enough leads to fill your pipeline of sales prospects sufficiently and have positive sales results really based upon the conversion rate you have for sales. So you set objectives for how many leads you have in any given period of time, say monthly. So you have lead generation objectives for how many you need month after month after month, knowing that you're not going to convert all the leads into qualified leads, and knowing that even qualified leads, once reaching the sales process, we're not going to convert all of them to a buyer. So you need to kind of understand or have some set of assumptions about the productivity of lead generation and sales closure. So you have to have some idea, some assumptions, it'll change over time as you learn more, about how many leads you're going to need and a conversion rate to a lead that has taken you up on your call to action, and some understanding of the productivity you're likely to get in converting prospects into leads that are turned over into the sales process that close at some rate, 30-40%, so that at the end of it all, you've got enough sales going on to support your business. That how many people you had to reach in order to achieve that is something you've got to keep monitoring. You got to have objectives for each step along the way in this marketing process. So you have these lead objectives, but you got to count them up. So once you've established your lead objectives, you now measure it. You have metrics that you follow month after month after month. How are we doing at each step along the way in this process? And adjust accordingly when you're not meeting your objectives. You manage this very tightly because it is the means by which you're going to get new business and enough of it to create a profit for your company. So make sure that you do have a set of metrics that you monitor weekly, that you're aware of it, and you're on the ball, solving the problems of improving upon your metrics month after month after month. You get better and better and better at the productivity of your marketing plan. So that's the story about having a marketing plan. It's very, very important. It's as important as your product development and manufacturing, because if you don't reach customers, you don't have a business. So create a great marketing plan and then move on to the next step of the process and close a sale. Hope that helps. Have a great day.